Shalom, shalom, everybody. It is Tuesday, July the 21st, 2020. This is my second video for the day. And if you are new to my channel, this is actually my backup channel that I'm alternating. I'm posting my first video of the day on my main channel and my second video of the day on my backup channel. But if you're new, my name is Daniel Lee. I live here in, as you can see, very beautiful rainforest of Juneau, Alaska. And my mission statement is very clear. I preach and teach the Hebrew Jewish roots of the Christian faith on my website, spiritandtorah.com. I exalt Yahshua, Jesus Christ of Nazareth. He is the only way, truth, and the life. I expose satanic pedophiles through investigative reporting on my YouTube channel. I've been doing this now for almost 2 years. I provide satanic ritual abuse survivors a platform to speak out on. I protect the innocent children by virtue of these other things, and I lead a nightly Zoom room prayer meeting. Every single night we pray for President Trump, this nation, the subscribers, each other, and we will be happy to pray for you as well. All right, the first thing I want to just highlight, this was something that Julian Drum tweeted out earlier today, but it just shows the utter hypocrisy of the mainstream media. He says, contact tracing is good, but tracing child pornographers is bad. And this is from a screenshot that he has. The first story that you can see here on June 12, 2020, it's from, they're both from NBC News. But the first one says, coronavirus contact tracing apps were tech's chance to step up, but they haven't. So they're complaining that, there's not enough contract tracing that's going on, that the apps haven't really caught on, and they're complaining about that. And then on July 17th, 2020, so just a couple days later, NBC News says, inside the surveillance software tracking child porn offenders across the globe. And the subheadline says, the child protection systems, hold on, let me read this so I can read it. The child protection system helps police triage child pornography cases, but as the system expands, it's facing growing privacy concerns. So with the child pornographers are saying, well, we got to be careful because this might violate people's privacy. But with the contact tracing with the COVID-19, they're saying, hey, why isn't this being used more? Not talking about any type of privacy concerns. So again, just the very subtle way that the mainstream media has a double standard, where when it comes to child predators, no, they don't really want to go after them as much. But when it comes to trying to enact tyranny on people, to trace them through the COVID-19 and do contact tracing because of this pandemic, oh boy, they're all over them. So just a really, really good way of just seeing that double-sided, two-faced hypocrisy of the mainstream media. And again, I think it's because there are a lot of people embedded in the mainstream media who likely have sealed indictments over their head that they've been involved in the child sex trafficking and satanic pedophilia. That's the glue that holds together the global deep state cabal. Now, here's an interesting story from July 14th, 2020. A megachurch pastor reels after learning a megachurch reels after learning that their pastor let his professed pedophile son work with children. The leaders of a California evangelical megachurch are under fire for bungling the church's response to a youth ministry volunteer's confession that he was attracted to little children. The Menlo Church volunteer in question first told senior pastor John Ortberg about his feelings 2 years ago, though congregants weren't officially notified about the situation until January. That the volunteer was the pastor's younger son, Johnny Ortberg III, was kept secret until a whistleblower leaked the news late last month. The younger Ortberg denies acting inappropriately towards children, and to date, no one has come forward with allegations claiming otherwise. But the revelation of his identity has heightened scrutiny of the church's response and raised questions about whether John Ortberg, who allowed his son to continue volunteering with children for over a year after hearing about the attraction he had toward little children, should remain the church's senior pastor. The church's board acknowledged this week that its handling of the matter has caused pain and distrust in the community and pledged to do better. As of Tuesday, John Ortberg remained Menlo Church's senior pastor. Current and former members of Menlo Church told Huffington Post that they're upset by how the board and John Ortberg in particular handled the situation, claiming the leaders prioritized maintaining Ortberg's reputation over building a culture that is safe for children and welcoming to any survivors of sexual abuse. This is just totally outrageous. So here you have this mega church. You have the senior pastor's own son tells him a couple of years ago, yeah, I think I'm attracted to children. and his youngest son is actually one of the youth leaders there. And the pastor not only doesn't tell anyone, but leaves his son to continue to be a youth pastor. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, both the father and son should be immediately removed from this church, and they should both be arrested for abuse. But this is just absolutely insane. And this is what's happening in a lot of the Laodicean lukewarm churches amongst their leadership is, you know, even pedophilia. They're not having a problem with, they're tolerating because they want to, you know, protect their reputations or whatever else is driving them. It's just very, very, very sick. And I'm glad that at least it was finally brought to light and they were exposed, and kudos to whoever this whistleblower was to expose this nonsense at this mega church. I'll post a link to this below the video so you guys can read about it more. Now this article is from over a year ago, but I wanted to just highlight this. It's from last July of 2019. It says investigators are reportedly probing close Epstein associate Ghislaine Maxwell's mysterious ocean nonprofit. Investigators are reportedly probing an oceanic conservancy group founded by Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's close associate and alleged madame, for possible ties to Epstein. Now, again, this was over a year ago, and it says the New York Post reported that the Terra Mar project, which recent filings show appeared to have been kept afloat by more than $500,000 from Ghislaine Maxwell herself, has come into the crosshairs of the investigation as at least one young woman involved with the organization had contact with Epstein. According to the Post, prosecutors say that Epstein transported young women between properties in New York, Palm Beach, and the Virgin Islands on his fleet of private jets referred to as the Lolita Express. The Post reported the young woman, identified as a member of the board of the Terra Mar project, was also listed as a passenger on 2 different flights from JFK Airport. The woman also lived in a 3-bedroom home in Teaneck, New Jersey, that public records have traced back to Maxwell, according to the report. The Post added that it is not clear at this time what the woman was doing on the flights, and she did not return calls for comments. The nonprofit was shuttered earlier this month, days after Epstein was arrested on sex trafficking charges. The nonprofit's stated intent, according to tax documents published on ProPublica and reviewed by Business Insider, was, quote, to create a global ocean community to give a voice to the least protected, most ignored part of our planet, the high seas. Its website now features a single statement. The Terra Mar project is sad to announce that it will cease all operations. So the reason and also Terra Mars wants to thank all its supporters, partners, and fellow ocean lovers. The reason I wanted to highlight this story from over a year ago is that I just remember when Q said, watch the water. He made that statement, I think, more than once, watch the water, on various drops over the last few years. And just the fact that this was an ocean nonprofit organization that looks like it definitely has ties to Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, I wonder if we're going to see more developments on this currently, now that, of course, Ghislaine Maxwell is in custody. So just something that I wanted to highlight and bring out. And I know Q's statement may have, you know, many different types of meanings, but I just have a feeling that that statement, watch the water, is probably also directly pointing to this ocean nonprofit group. Now here's some good news. This was published yesterday. Hey guys, there's a little, hold on, I'm gonna just take a little break here from my news because there's a squirrel. Oh, I wanna show you guys. Look at that, you see him? You see him? Hopefully you guys see him. There he is. Okay, sorry. He crept up right behind me, so I was like, oh, I got to show my viewers that. Just a little squirrel. They don't have much fear here in Juneau. They'll come right up to you and say hi. And yeah, that's him right now. He's saying hi to me. You hear him? All right. Here's some good news. This is from July 20th, 2020. This is from ICE and Pennsylvania man. Again, we're talking about Pennsylvania. I talked about that child sex trafficking ring that was broken up in Pennsylvania yesterday, and actually a 14-year-old girl was rescued. But here again, a Pennsylvania man has been charged with sextortion, production of material depicting the sexual exploitation of children, and transferring obscene material. This is from Pittsburgh. A Blair County Pennsylvania resident has been indicted by a federal grand jury in Pittsburgh Monday on charges of interstate transmission of an extortion communication, production and attempted production, and receipt and attempted receipt of material depicting the sexual exploitation of a child and transfer of obscene material to a child following an investigation by ICE's Homeland Security. The 16-count indictment, returned July 8th and unsealed today, named Jacob Kolonis, 27, of Duncansville, Pennsylvania, as the sole defendant. So another pedophile bites the dust. Hallelujah for that. Now, this is really interesting. This was published today, and it's just breaking news. Ohio House Speaker Larry Householder arrested in a $60 million bribery case related to HB6 nuclear bailout. Now, the reason why I wanted to highlight this is just yesterday in my second video, I talked about how the Speaker of the House in Illinois is being implicated in a huge bribery and money laundering scandal, and it looks like he's going to be going down. Well, now the House Speaker in Ohio has literally been arrested for a bribery scam. Ohio House Speaker Larry Householder was arrested Tuesday morning ahead of an announcement about a $60 million federal racketeering case related to Ohio's new nuclear bailout law, according to sources and media reports. FBI agents who were assisted by the Perry County Sheriff's Department were deployed to Householder's property in Glenford, the Dayton Daily News reported. The investigation centers on House Bill 6, the $1 billion plus ratepayer bailout of two Ohio nuclear power plants owned by First Energy Solutions, now Energy Harbor, that Householder helped push through last year with the help of millions in dark money, according to the Toledo Blade. Besides Householder, 4 others have been arrested, according to sources and media reports. Former Ohio Republican Party chair turned consultant Matt Borges, prominent lobbyist Neil Clark, First Energy Solutions lobbyist Juan Cespedes, and Householder aide Jeff Longstreth. All are currently in custody, according to a source. So very, very, very interesting that this has just happened one after another. I mean, again, for people who are saying nothing's happening, I mean, to have both a Speaker of the House in Illinois be implicated in bribery, and I know he hasn't been arrested yet, but even the governor's saying, hey, if this is true, you're going to have to step down, and it's very likely he may be arrested. And now the Ohio House Speaker has been arrested along with others, also implicated in a bribery scam. It looks like the DOJ and President Trump, they are serious about taking out corruption. And notice this, I mean, these are some Republicans. It's not just a Republican-Democrat issue. This corruption's been going across the board. We know this, across our nation, regardless of the party. And that, again, is why we are so blessed to have President Trump, who's not really a part of either party. He's a wrecking ball that's, you know, exposing all of the, smashing through all the corruption in both political parties. Now, this next story is from, was published today, or yesterday, actually, in Kentucky. This is just outrageous. A couple, husband and wife, are in ankle monitors for not signing a COVID-19 self-isolation papers. A Kentucky couple, actually I don't know if they're husband and wife, but they're a couple, is on house arrest after one of them tested positive for the coronavirus and refused to sign documents agreeing to self-quarantine. Elizabeth Linscott was tested for COVID-19 last week, Rave reports. She was planning to travel to Michigan to visit her family. After she tested positive for the virus, the area health department reportedly called her and asked her to sign documents that would limit her from traveling unless she contacted the health department first. Linscott decided not to sign the documents. She did, however, agree to take necessary precautions in the event that she did need to go to the hospital. My part was, if I have to go to the ER, if I have to go to the hospital, I'm not going to wait to get the approval to go, she told Wave. A few days after Linscott refused to sign the self-isolation and controlled movement agreed order, my goodness, this is 1984, the Hardin County Sheriff's Department reportedly arrived at her home unannounced. I open up the door and there's like 8 different people. Linscott's husband, it is a husband and wife. Linscott's husband, Isaiah, told the news outlet. 5 different cars, and I'm like, what the heck's going on? This guy's in a suit with a mask. It's the health department guy, and he has 3 different papers for us, for me, her, and my daughter. Health officials ordered the couple to wear ankle monitors and inform them if they traveled more than 200 feet, authorities would be notified. The couple says they never refused self-quarantining, but they did not agree with the wording of the documents. That's exactly what the director of the public health Department told the judge that I was refusing to self-quarantine because of this, and that was not the case at all, Lynn Scott reportedly said. I never said that. The couple plans to get an attorney to assist them with this situation. My goodness. My goodness. So this happened actually in Kentucky. This is reported by 13 WOWK News. My goodness. I can't believe that this is actually happening. So there you have a couple. They weren't even refusing to self-quarantine. They just didn't want to sign these weird documents that had these bizarre stipulations in them. And then all of a sudden, authorities show up at their house. Oh, you got to wear an ankle monitor. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Boy, I tell you, if that doesn't wake up people, I don't know what will. Okay, I wanted to post a link to this video that Liz Crokin put out a few days ago. It's a great video that she made. It's just a little over 8 minutes. And I'm going to read just the description of this video that she made. She said, I wrote an article titled Trump Does the Unthinkable in 2016 because I was so disgusted at the lies the mainstream media and loudmouth celebrities were spreading about then presidential candidate Donald Trump. No one had anything bad to say about Trump till he made the decision to run for president as a Republican. My goal was to capture the essence of who the real Donald Trump is. My article went viral immediately, and recently it's been circulating a lot again across multiple social media platforms. I decided to turn this article into a video to reach as many people as possible so they too can learn the true heart of our president during a time when it's still very hard to find honest reporting anywhere in the media. And I remember when Liz Crokin wrote that article. This lists just all these different examples of how President Trump has been, and he doesn't talk about this, he doesn't tout it out, but all these examples of President Trump helping the common man. I mean, paying off a guy's mortgage and just all these different situations that Donald Trump was in, proving who he really is, not this monster that the media tries to paint him as. Well, Liz Crokin, of course, she, if you don't know who she is, she was a journalist that was a part of the mainstream media. And then when she started uncovering satanic pedophilia and child sex trafficking in Hollywood and in the media and politics, she was kicked out of the mainstream media. And she's always been a phenomenal journalist on the front lines of exposing satanic pedophiles. So please go watch her video. I will post a link to that below this video so you guys can go and check that out. All right. If you like what I'm doing, if you appreciate what I'm doing, if you think I'm working hard and I deserve to be paid, this is my full-time career, which I love. I love doing what I do. So if you want to help me out, the easiest way to do so is through my PayPal. That is a link right below this video. That's the easiest way to send me a donation. I also have a Patreon. That's a link below the video as well. The way that works is you click on it, you can pledge any monthly amount you'd like, and then that amount is taken out of your bank account at the beginning of each month. If you're old school and you don't want to use the internet to send a donation, that's fine. I also have a P.O. box that's located below the video, and you can send me a donation through good old-fashioned snail mail. Just remember, if you want a response to that snail mail donation, make sure to enclose your email address in that letter. If you have a prayer request and you want our prayer team to pray for you, we will be happy to do so. Just make sure you email me. My email is in the description box below the video. You do have to kind of scroll down through the links and unfold that description box, but you'll eventually find my email address. You can email me your prayer request. I'll get it to our prayer team and we will pray for you. All right, guys, it's a beautiful, wonderful day here in Juneau. It's in the 60s today. Nice summer day in this rainforest. Have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. Shalom, shalom.